This should make you mad. By the one and only Charles Moist.
Right now, there is the wackiest legal battle I've ever learned about going on in the shadows. There's a secret war between major food brands and the FDA, mainly cereal producers like General Mills and Kellogg's, because the FDA is proposing new guidelines on the term healthy when it relates to things like their cereal.
Bro, cereal is obviously healthy, all right? Easy. It's cereal. It's got, of all the micronutrients, it's got sugar, cardboard, and more sugar. Okay, got them all.
And under these new potential guidelines, their cereals would have to erase that term from their marketing. And they're not too happy about it. They're wiggling their fingers saying, no, no, no. We have a First Amendment right to free speech, which they have been using for years to effectively lie and mislead their customers into thinking that their cereals aren't bad for them. Free speech is a beautiful and sacred, wonderful thing that plays no role in this corporate greed and false advertisement. I think it should be obvious that corporations can't just make shit up and make any claims they want to, just pull random, like, nonsense claims out of their ass for their products in order to sell it. Like, there needs to be some truth to the claims. Like, this is.
Bro, if the cereal makes the milk green and it tastes good, it's good for you, dude. That's it.
Is not a free speech issue. This is literally just bad business practice and fucking lying. Alleged lying. I want to make it clear. Alleged. General Mills and Kellogg's have been fucking shaking
Alleged.
their fists and wiggling in anger at this whole situation. I don't want them to get mad at me, too. Alleged. Take a peek at this puppy.
Oh man, here
Fruity
we
Pebbles
go.
and Lucky Charms threaten to block healthy food labeling guidelines in court.
Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms. Oh my. Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms. Here we go.
Saying it limits their free speech. The proposed FDA rule mandates that foods labeled as healthy must contain a major food group such as dairy, fruits, or whole grains and must fit certain limits on saturated fat, sodium, and added sugars.
Okay, so normally I think what cereal is like it goes under whole grains and and must fit certain limits on saturated fat, sodium, and added sugars. That's so much sugar.
The rule limits cereals, for example, to no more than 2.5 grams of sugar per serving in order to be labeled healthy.
Oh my god. 2.5 grams of sugar per serving. Okay, so they take so like on the back of the cereal box, it'll be like I think most cereals is like a cup, about a cup of cereal, like just the cereal, because there's like a separate thing for like there's a nutrition fact for just a cup of cereal and a nutrition fact for the cup of cereal and like a cup of milk with like that stuff. All right, so I think there's a separation right there. So what? This rule limits cereals, for example, to no more than 2.5 grams of sugar per serving in order to be labeled as healthy. All right. All right.
A restriction food manufacturers claim would exclude over 95% of ready to eat cereals. Holy shit, yes. What?
That's so many cereals. Oh my god. What would be the surviving cereals? I don't even think would it be Wheaties? Like the frost covered Wheaties even? Cuz like that stuff is like mid, you know? Probably the normal Wheaties would survive. The ones without the frosting on top, those would survive.
Which is great. That is good news. That's huge. It's about fucking time. I couldn't tell you the amount of people that for some reason are brainwashed into believing these fucking labels that their goddamn frosted flakes or whatever are healthy for them. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
nuts. That is long overdue.
Oh yeah, most nutrition labels there's like a margin of error that they are allowed to fall within for them to be able to put out a number or something like that.
Among the most vocal food companies are producers of high sugar cereals, which are largely marketed to children and have been criticized as a driver of the obesity epidemic in America. Because they are.
Dang, dude. Cereal's making everybody fat. What a shame, man. Oh my god. The most important meal of the day has betrayed me. What am I going to eat now for breakfast? They take away my cereal. Shit. Now what am I going to eat, dude?
In a joint filing made last month, the largest cereal producers in the country, General Mills, Kellogg's, and Post Consumer Brands, decried the proposed nutritional criteria and threatened to file a lawsuit challenging the guidelines as a violation of corporate free speech rights.
Corporate free speech. When they treat the organization as a person. Oh my god, look at his face. Look at Charlie's face. Oh my god. This is fucking hilarious, dude. Like, what?
You absolute slimy worms. Corporate free speech rights to lie to consumers. We have a right to say whatever we want to sell our product.
Yeah.
And how dare you try and strip that from us, even though it's a blatant lie. Most cereal, like Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms, Fruity Pebbles, are not healthy. And that it's a complete fucking sham.
Bro, Charlie, you are so wrong, alright? If I have, like, a bowl of Lucky Charms, I get all my micronutrients. I can't even say that. Fucking straight, dude.
And a joke that some of those boxes have that term plastered on there. In the cereal industry, the word healthy has less meaning than the word literally. It is completely devalued because
That's true.
They've been able to skirt these guidelines and get away with labeling things like fucking Lucky Charms as healthy when it's not. It's there for one purpose and one purpose only: to mislead customers into thinking that what they're purchasing isn't bad for them. Even though,
I mean, to be frank, I mean, cereal isn't necessarily bad for you. Like, if you have, like, a normal bowl of cereal for, like, the prescribed, like, serving size, like, with a cup of whatever, like, milk, it could even be whole milk, for fuck's sake. You won't get fucking fat off that, you know? You're not gonna die of diabetes, you know? Now, if you have a box of cereal and some milk, you know, or like half a box of cereal, and, you know, like you're down in boxes of cereal, like you're down in cigarettes or whatever, then yeah, I could get behind, you know, cereal is like a definite issue, but like it's more the amount of cereal, if anything, not actual cereal. But I know what he's talking about.
no, it's nothing but a giant fucking sugar bomb. You're purchasing just a ton of sugar, and for some reason they've been able to call it healthy for a long time now. It's very deceptive. It's literally just false advertisement. And I don't think that's slanderous to say. I don't know if General Mills and Kellogg's are watching this, but I don't think that's slanderous. There is tons and tons of research to indicate the role that high sugar shit like cereal plays a massive role in the obesity epidemic that America's been experiencing for quite some time now. And finally, the FDA is doing something worthwhile of stepping in and saying, it's about time we restrict this a little bit more. You can't just slap healthy on anything you want to willy-nilly. We're going to stop being so loosey-goosey with healthy. From now on, it's going to need to adhere to stricter guidelines. I'm actually surprised they didn't double down. Instead of calling their foods healthy, I'm surprised they didn't try and say, like, doctor recommend.
So I actually have no idea about if cereals have the actual words healthy on them. I know, what is it, Cheerios? Cheerios gets away with doing, like, heart healthy because it's like, oh, it lowers cholesterol and blood pressure and all that other noise and whatever. I know Cheerios gets away with that. but I don't really know if all these other cereals have the word healthy on the box because honestly, I haven't really shopped for cereal in a long time. Now, I like a bowl of cereal once in a while, all right? I'm not going to lie, but I don't know, maybe I'd have to like go to the store and actually go down the cereal aisle again.
Recommended cinnamon toast crunch. Number one pediatrician recommended fruity pebbles. Like really go hog wild on trying to mislead people into thinking it's good for you.
Oh my god.
They did go hard on fortified for a while, saying it's fortified with crucial vitamins and minerals and all that.
Fortified with all the 15 kinds of sugar that your body needs to survive.
But I feel like they could have gone even more hog wild with it. What about protein cereals that cost like $8 a box?
Oh,
You're getting into these really fringe cereals I don't know about. I can't tell you which.
so I actually do know about some of the fringe cereals because I've actually went out of my way. I had like a phase of buying like the protein cereals that were like lower in sugar and actually had like some minuscule amount of protein with it, just so I could, you know, it would be like whatever the taste of like the protein cereal is, it would be like an 8 out of 10 versus like a 10 out of 10. So let's say a 10 out of 10 is like Reese's Puffs. Like the protein cereal would be like an obvious take on the Reese's Puffs, and it would be like little peanut butter chocolate balls or whatever. It wouldn't taste exactly like it, but it'd be close enough. Like those type of cereals.
which are healthy and what aren't of the ones you're listing. All I'm saying is I'm agreeing that 95% of these cereals would absolutely be wiped from the healthy label because they're not.
Yeah.
Like they're straight up not. The sugar that's present there isn't like natural sugars either most of
Yeah.
the time. So you can't even make it the argument that like, oh no, but what about the cereal with 30 grams of sugar, but it's all healthy sugars? Because that's never the case. The rule, if finalized in its present form, the companies wrote, would be open to legal challenge in that it violates the First Amendment by prohibiting truthful, non misleading claims
Whoa.
in an unjustified manner and also exceeds FDA's statutory authority in several ways.
Well, talking about having your cake and eating it too. Holy. Would be open to legal challenge in that it violates the First Amendment by prohibiting truthful, non misleading claims in an unjustified manner. Wow. What a time.
It's so frightening that corporations can bully an organization whose sole goal should be the safety of the products that we consume on a daily basis. Prohibiting truthful, non misleading claims, but
Yeah.
that is the exact opposite of what these claims are.
Yeah.
Slapping healthy on fruity pebbles is an affront to God. The organization contend that the healthy labeling requirements are an unconstitutional overreach of government power.
That's
Food
hilarious.
companies, the Washington Legal Foundation argued, have constitutionally protected commercial speech rights covering their ability to use the term healthy to describe their added sugar products. This is terrifying. This is
Yeah.
just scary.
And also to add on to it, it's not like sugar isn't, again, this goes back to the thing I was talking about earlier. Sugar isn't necessarily good or bad. Sugar is just sugar, you know? Your body needs some amount of sugar, all right? And depending on who you talk to, it'll be like varying amounts or whatever. But for the most part, like, come on, like, you don't need to like go overboard with the amount of fucking sugar you intake, all right? You know? You can have a bowl of cereal a day and be fine, you know? It's like I said before, if you have a shitload of sugary cereals or whatever, a shitload of sugar in general, you know, then you're gonna set yourself up for failure. You know?
What the fuck? Nobody should want a world where corporations can pull claims out of their ass without ever having to prove them or verify their authenticity or ensure that the claims are truthful. That is a horrifying world. They could literally be boxing up poison and selling it to you with a smile on their face and with
Mm-hmm.
the word healthy slapped on the box, and nothing would be done about it. They are fighting tooth and nail to defend their right to literally fucking lie to customers about
Yeah.
how healthy their foods are.
Oh, man, that's crazy that corporations can actually like even challenge the fact that they can get away with doing that.
They are not, by any stretch of imagination, by any definition, healthy. And yet they've been able to get away with using that term for so long that they refuse to let it go. They've become so accustomed to lying to their consumers that they are now throwing this massive public hissy fit, this legal battle. The FDA, the Washington Legal Foundation, wrote in its brief, cannot explain why consumers cannot make their own healthy decisions based on nutritional labeling data. Rather, it seeks to limit the food company's speech. Oh my god, it's like listening to someone
Yeah.
cry victim on Twitter, but from a corporation. What are you talking about, man? You're just blatantly lying on your products.
Okay, the FDA and the Washington Legal Foundation wrote in its brief, cannot explain why consumers cannot make their own healthy decisions based on nutrition labeling data. Rather, it seeks to limit food companies' speech. Yeah. So this is the FDA versus Joe Schmo cereal company, essentially. The FDA is trying to crack down on the cereal company on its like nutritional labeling, and Big Cereal is like, no, don't censor me, no, don't let me. I want to be able to have the word healthy on my cereal. That's kind of what it seems like.
Obesity's on like an absolute astronomical come up, and you're slapping healthy on some of the foods that are a big contributor of it. What are you talking about? The group does not
Yeah.
disclose its donors and did not respond to a request for comment. In previous years, the Corn Refiners Association, a lobby group that represents the high fructose corn syrup industry, has disclosed financial ties to the Washington Legal Foundation.
Oh dang. Big corn, big Washington. They're tied together. What a surprise.
Can't believe that. Drug companies, including Purdue Pharma, the makers of OxyContin, have used the Washington Legal Foundation to challenge government rules and establish legal precedent to reduce the ability for prosecutors to seek criminal charges for drug company executives. You love
What?
a story with some heroes you can root for, like the Washington Legal Foundation fighting for the little guys, like drug company executives. The joint filing from cereal manufacturers not only scorn the labeling rules, but also argue that sugary cereals pose no health risks and are in fact beneficial to society and childhood health.
What? Let me read that again. The joint filing from cereal manufacturers, so Big Cereal, not only scorns the labeling rules, but also argues that sugary cereals pose no health risks and are in fact beneficial to society. That's probably fake news and child health. That's how. Where? How can you say that? Like what? I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I used to get like so hyped up and amped up after eating cereal. You know? Like I think one of my go-tos was like what was it? Cocoa Pebbles? Yeah, that was a big one cuz you have the big bowl of Cocoa Pebbles and then you got the milk. And then once you eat it all cuz you got to eat it really quick if you want it to be crunchy, or you could like mush all the Cocoa Pebbles like underneath the milk and raise the level of the milk and then just stir it a little bit and it would get a little mushy and then just eat it that way so you didn't have to chew it. And then after you got done, you just drink all the chocolatey goodness up. All right? That was the go-to for me as a kid. And after that, I was like bouncing off the walls, dude. I was like raring to go. But I don't actually remember. What did I eat a lot when I was a little kid? Like trying to go to school. I think it was. I think, you know what? Bro, a big cereal just takes advantage of the fact that most people that are buying cereal They're just like preying on the fact that like parents have to work a job, like the mom works a job, dad works a job, and maybe they send their kid off to like public school or whatever, and they don't have for, like a lot of time in the morning. So it's just like, here, have a bowl of cereal and like rush them off to the bus or whatever, so I can go to work after or whatever. You know, that's probably the majority, like, or not maybe a majority, but like a good chunk of like the audience that buys it or whatever. Because I remember that was me. I do think like I don't really remember eating a lot of like real breakfasts in the morning, like right before I went to school. Man, man, that was rough. All right, let's continue. Let's continue.
Love that. What a great claim. The company stated that they view the extremely strict guidelines as alarming because cereal is one of the most affordable, nutrient dense breakfast choices a person, adult, or child can make, with a wide range of options to suit different cultures,
Cultures,
preferences, and tastes.
cultures, and taste. Oh my god, nutrient dense, nutrient density. Oh my god, bro, this is crazy.
Cereal companies claimed are cereals the companies claimed are already recognized for nutritional benefits given their inclusion in a range of federal programs that
Bro, how much you want to bet they're using like one cereal that tastes like that has like the lowest amount of sugar and is like okay for some people to eat because it like they're probably using like Cheerios or some shit for this claim, and they're just slapping on the word like cereals as like they all do it, you know? Have whatever cereal you want, you know? They all do the same thing. How much you want to bet they're using like one or two cereals that do that shit, and they're just lumping them all in.
serve the nation's vulnerable populations, such as the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children.
What, men don't have like nutrition, like supplemental nutrition deficiencies? Where's the men at? You know, ain't no men in here. All right. Apparently, men don't have nutritional deficiencies at all.
And the National School Lunch Program.
Bro, if you're getting the cereal, because I know, like, what was it? Okay, so when I went to school, I normally didn't eat breakfast at the school, or maybe I did, but it wasn't a lot of times. But when I did, it was like these little tiny little kid pieces of bacon. Because you know, like when you're a little kid, if you have like a normal piece of bacon, that thing's like huge. It would be like a little scoop of like I don't know if it was real like scrambled eggs or the powdered scrambled eggs. I don't know if that was a thing. Um, and it would be like a biscuit and like some fruit and like whatever else. But I do remember seeing, and they still have them, I bet, those little plastic bowls that you like peel open, and it would be like Lucky Charms, some Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, uh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and like your little carton of milk or whatever that you like pop open and you like pour in. And when you're a little kid, that thing is massive. All right. So I do remember them having that, but I don't know if they still have those. I would imagine they do.
This is so foul. It's candy.
There's no shot that they think cereal is like legitimately like what? Where was it? Nutritional benefits given their inclusion of no. Pose no health risks and are in fact beneficial to society and childhood health. Okay, he's still there.
Candy in the morning. It is. It is literally candy in the morning.
Yeah.
And yet they're here with a straight face saying that it's nutrient dense. Well, it is one of the most nutrient dense breakfast choices a person, adult, or child can make.
That is so hilarious. Nutrient dense how? Like what? You fortify it with some bullshit? Like that's not how that works, really.
And saying that it poses no health risks and is actually beneficial to society and childhood health. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Next, they're going to argue nutritional facts are unconstitutional. Yeah, we shouldn't have to say what's in our cereals. We shouldn't have to say what's in our food.
Bro, how hilarious would it be if there was like no nutrition label or like an even less of nutrition labels that we have now? Like, oh my god. Do you think they'd be able to get away? Would it even feel the same, taste the same? It'd probably be more like sugary. Like last time I had like a cinnamon toast crunch or like uh not the cocoa pebbles, but like the cocoa balls, cocoa puffs. Even those are like pushing the limit on like, does it taste more like chocolatey sugar or is it more crunchy whole grain whatever ball?
It's to protect our right to privacy.
Oh my god. What if Lucky Charms was just charms? I'm not sure if they did that yet, but oh my god. That would be the money. They're like pretty much a third the way there. With how much like Lucky Charms they have in a box. Yeah.
Oh man, this is so fucked. How does this just keep getting worse? The company's charged that cereal delivers on nutrition when eaten alone.
Delivers on nutrition when eaten alone. Again, they're probably using like one or two cereals that taste like cardboard to begin with and lumping all the rest of them in.
But when consumed as part of a breakfast, it elevates the nutrition further, with cereal eaters exhibiting an overall higher diet quality.
What? No. Overall higher diet quality. Bro, these are just some like weird ass marketing terms that they're just like finagling together.
As evidence, the filings cites a 2019 study conducted by in-house researchers employed by General Mills.
Oh boy, Big Cereal hired itself to do a study. What a surprise.
The maker of Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Trix, among other brands. They're doing it again, right in front of our face. Do you guys remember? And I've talked about it a lot, but some of you might also remember. There was a period of time, not that long ago, like 25, 30-ish years ago, where the entire America, all of America, vilified fat. They said
Yep.
the fat in our food is making us fat. This is why we're getting obese, because of
Mm-hmm.
fat in our food. And sugar was actually looked at as the good guy.
Yep.
Those studies were paid for by companies like this that were trying to placate their responsibility for the contribution they played to the obesity epidemic and put all of it on top of fat. And they're doing it again right here in 2019, trying to make arguments that eating cereal actually helps eaters exhibit an overall higher diet quality, I guess. That's so crazy. Oh, the agency they wrote should recognize the beneficial role of sugar. Sugar plays a role in foods beyond palatability. It controls water activity, creates texture, adds bulk, and also contributes to flavor complexity.
Bro, that's not what we're fucking arguing. We're arguing the amount of sugar that you can have in a serving of cereal, and you have to stick it on your fucking box. Beneficial role of sugar plays the role in foods beyond palatability. Bro, like what? Controls water activity. All right. So does a bunch of other things. Creates texture. So does everything else. So does actual food. It adds bulk. Sugar adds bulk. So does real food. And also contributes to flavor complexity. So I will buy that, but none of these are exclusive to sugar. Oh my god. Bro, so if sugar has all these things and everybody has like this specific taste of like what actual sugar tastes like or whatever. It's like a specific brand of sugar, like fructose, whatever. It's like, what's stopping these companies have probably tried this already before. Like, what's stopping them from switching to sugar? Like, get sugar out of there and just put like sweetener, like the fake sugar or whatever in there. You know, like the little Mios. Like if you have a bottle of water and you stick the fake, like the flavor enhancer stuff in there, couldn't you do that with like cereal? You have to be able to. There's like these guys are hiring chemists on chemists to figure this shit out. They probably have done that and like have run like blind studies to figure and like ran tests, and they might have already figured out that the fake sugar doesn't taste as good as real sugar. And by good, I mean probably when they ran these tests or whatever. I'm just bullshitting. I'm just talking shit. Probably if they've done this already, there's no way you can have like a real test, because they have to be just normal people that they test this shit on, like real sugar versus fake sugar, like just the taste of sweet, because the people that they probably use have already been exposed to like real sugar cereals and have probably given like told them like, oh, this is like a 6 or this is like a 5. Maybe if they're lucky they'll give it like a 7. Try to make like fruity pebbles taste like fruity pebbles but with like the sweet taste and not sugar. They probably, it has come close, but it's still like discernible. Like you can still taste the difference.
We are literally going back in time. Literally going back in time. They're trying to make sugar a hero again.
Yeah.
Sugar is actually really good for you. It is healthy to eat 30 grams of sugar in the morning with our cereal.
There's no way they're gonna win this one, dude.
Independent research, however, have found that diets high in processed foods and sugar intake are linked to obesity, diabetes, higher risk of stroke, obesity-related cancers, hypertension, and dental diseases.
That is the easiest layups of layups. This is a easy slam dunk.
You don't say. You're telling me that the research that wasn't paid for by the actual sugar producing cereal company said something totally different?
Oh my god.
That I just can't believe.
What a surprise.
Right now, some nation states and
Oh man. Where is this? Okay. Well, anyway. Fucking good shit, man. What is this? The fact that the FDA is stepping in and holding these cereal companies accountable is a massive dub. The domino effect this could potentially have on America's false advertising when it comes to food is huge. Yeah, I mean it could be. I mean, but you cannot underestimate the power of big food. All right, big food usually gets what it wants. All right, you don't want to know what happens like to your meat, where your meat comes from. All right, you just want to go to Walmart, get the pack of chicken, get the pack of ground beef or whatever, and go home and cook it. All right. Now imagine all the other corporations who've lobbied behind closed doors to make sure they can sell us whatever truth they want. Oh yeah, they're all quivering now. It's like, oh my god, they took out the front pin. Are we next? Nope. Last week he was John Wick. This week he's fighting the corporation overlords like Johnny Silverhand, and we all know Charlie busted through the Matrix long ago. He's the real world manifestation of all Keanu Reeves characters. True. Actually true. Love it. This is fucking funny, dude. All right, good video, dude. Peace.